For months, something has been bubbling beneath the surface, a tension hidden behind official statements and carefully rehearsed lines. But now, the silence is broken, and the alarm bell has been rung. Did you know that over 95% of our viewers aren't subscribed to the channel? We totally get it. Life gets busy and sometimes it's easy to forget. But here's the thing, subscribing is completely free, and it really helps us keep creating the content you enjoy. So why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? It only takes a second, but it makes a world of difference to us. Thank you for your support. The tension has been building behind closed doors for weeks, but now it's spilling into the public. Penny Mordaunt, a former Defence Secretary and respected Conservative voice, has broken the silence with a powerful and sobering warning: the UK's defence spending promises are not backed by real money, and the consequences could be devastating. It came during a moment when the world's eyes were fixed on Britain's new government. Keir Starmer, fresh from securing power, took to the international stage at the NATO summit to signal strength and vision. Standing before allies, he made a bold declaration: Britain will spend 5% of its GDP on defence by 2035, a figure that includes 3.5% for core military operations and 1.5% on resilience, cyber, and other security infrastructure. At first glance, it was a powerful move, aimed squarely at demonstrating that Britain is serious about its role on the global stage. But beneath the applause and diplomatic handshakes, a deeper truth began to emerge. Mordaunt, speaking with a kind of urgency rarely seen in public discourse, revealed that the Treasury has not factored this 5% commitment into its current budgeting. In her words, the promise may sound good at NATO, but the reality is stark. The sad thing is, we're not stepping up. And we need to. Her intervention wasn't just rhetoric. It was a clear signal that, behind the scenes, even senior figures believe the government's defence strategy is built on shaky foundations. If you promise your allies a dramatic increase in spending, but fail to actually allocate the funds, what does that say about your credibility? And this is where it gets more serious. Mordaunt's remarks echoed a growing chorus of criticism. Multiple former Defence Secretaries, from both the Conservative and Labour camps, have spoken out against the delay in funding. They argue that waiting until 2029 to begin a strategic review of defence spending is reckless. The threats facing the UK, they argue, are immediate. The world is not waiting, and neither are our adversaries. Meanwhile, the United States has become increasingly vocal in its expectation that NATO members, especially major players like the UK, contribute their fair share. Former US President Donald Trump pushed hard for European allies to raise their defense spending to 5% of GDP, and although his tone was controversial, the pressure worked. The message from Washington is simple: you cannot rely on the US forever. Europe must step up. Back in London, Labour's internal dilemma is deepening. Starmer's pledge is ambitious, but with no immediate financial plan to back it up, critics fear it's merely symbolic. Mordaunt herself warned that such symbolic politics can come at a terrible cost. She spoke of a real and urgent danger, not just in terms of military readiness, but in morale, deterrence, and trust. She put it bluntly: if we don't act, we could pay in blood and treasure. For Britain's armed forces, already under strain, that warning is chilling. The Royal Navy is stretched. The Army is still dealing with aging equipment. The RAF faces rising demands from NATO operations in Eastern Europe. And yet, the funding gap remains. What message does that send to soldiers, to commanders, to partners abroad? Even Mayor Sadiq Khan, though not directly involved in foreign affairs, has noted the impact of underinvestment on safety and emergency preparedness in major UK cities. National security isn't just about tanks and warships. It's about cyber defense, infrastructure resilience, and rapid response capability in the face of terror threats. The longer the funding is delayed, the greater the risk that the UK's global standing erodes. As Mordaunt put it, words at NATO won't be enough. America might want to believe Britain is stepping up. But without action, without the hard budgeting, that belief will fade, and so too might our influence. This is the challenge facing Starmer and the Labour Treasury. The promise of 5% by 2035 sounds strong. But in a world that moves faster than political planning cycles, it might already be too slow. If Britain is to lead, to defend itself and its allies, and to truly deliver on its NATO commitments, it needs more than words. It needs urgency. It needs resources. And it needs them now.